Alright, how are we doing again today? I am back with a second video, and in this video we are going to go over the Week 2 NFL Offensive and Defensive Players of the Week, my nominations for those. We did this last week, so I'm going to continue on and make another version of this, and we're going to go ahead and get started with announcing last week's winners. We'll do this at the start of every video like this. So our Offensive Player of the Week for Week 1 was Ryan Fitzpatrick. He had a great opening week against the New Orleans Saints, throwing for I want to say 4 touchdowns, over 400 yards, 0 picks. He wasn't nominated this week, but that's fine because you're going to see who we chose for the quarterback slot. As you know, we do a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, and then on defense, we just pick the top defensive players that had the best stats and go from there. And on our defensive side, speaking of defense, for the defensive player of the week for week 1, we have Von Miller, the linebacker for the Denver Broncos. I can't recall his stat line, so I'm going to actually put those on the screen so we remember how they did. I just remember him having quite a big game in their opening contest. Anyway, let's go ahead and get on to our nominations for Offensive Players of the Week for week 2. First up for the quarterback, we have Patrick Mahomes. Everyone knows he just had a great day, 23 of 28 passing, which means he only missed 5 passes. You can do the math, I'm sure. He threw for 326 yards, kind of low for the fact that he threw 6 touchdowns and 0 picks and only was sacked 1 time. That's a very good line for a quarterback, probably the best of the week, regardless of the fact he didn't throw for as many yards as some guys. He was about 100 short of the league leader this week, and he had a near perfect passer rating of 154.8, by far the highest of the week. So my nod right now is going to Patrick Mahomes for the quarterback and potentially for the overall player of the week. And then we have the San Francisco 49ers backup running back showing up huge against the Detroit Lions and their weak run defense, going carrying the ball for 11 times for 138 yards, averaging 12.5 yards a carry, and only needing 1 touchdown to help his team to win the game. He looked very impressive, very explosive, had 2 big runs, and he really helped his team get the W. Without his touchdown, they might have lost the game. So good job, Matt Breida, for taking home the running back nomination. And at wide receiver, we have Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Stefon Diggs, who had 9 receptions for 128 yards. There were people with more yards, but the thing that got me for him was the 2 touchdowns over some of the other guys, and he averaged almost 15 yards a catch at 14.2. So he was having a big day, very big target for Kirk Cousins, helped his team get the tie against the Packers and a huge comeback in the fourth quarter. You could have given it to Thielen, but he had more receptions, a little like only like 10 more yards and 1 less touchdown. So we're going to go ahead and give the nod to Diggs. So these are our offensive players of the week. If you remember what you do down below in the comment section, you say who you think should be the offensive player of the week out of the 3 listed, or you can go ahead and say your own nomination and just, and if people agree with you, they'll like your comment and by the end of at this time next week, what I'll do is I'll look at for all the offensive players, and this is the same for defense. I'll look at who has the most comments or who has the most write-in and see, we'll just go from there. We'll figure it out by the comment section. So make sure you comment who you think should be the offensive player of the week out of these people or your own nomination. Nothing wrong with that. Excuse me. Sorry. And now we have the defensive players of the week. We have linebacker Darius Leonard out of Indianapolis. He had a big game against the Redskins in helping hold them to just 9 points with 15 solo tackles, 3 assisted tackles. Total tackles, he had 18 with 1 sack, a forced fumble, and no touchdowns or interceptions. Helping his team, I said, get the W, and that's important as Indy needs to win, win, and win to stay competitive in the South with a rough Jacksonville team. So good win, good job by Darius Leonard, who's probably going to get my nod for the actual nomination. And then we have Kiko Alonso, linebacker out of Miami, who had 13 solo tackles, 0 assisted tackles for a total of 13 tackles. The reason I pick him, of course, is because his team ended up winning against the New York Jets, and he came up big, causing 2 forced fumbles and having 13 solo tackles out of the linebacker position. Exactly what you want, made a difference in the game, and got his team the ball. All right, and his team won. So let's go on to the third nomination for Defensive Player of the Week, and that is Elijah Lee, the San Francisco linebacker who had 10 solo tackles, 2 assisted tackles, and 12 overall tackles, and 1 sack, 1 forced fumble. He was all over the Detroit Lions, helping his team win a very close game of 30-27. Without his contributions, who knows if the Lions or if the 49ers are able to hold off the Lions' comeback. And that will be the end of our nominations. So, like I said, leave a comment for who you think should be the offensive and defensive player of the week. Write in your own comment if you disagree with mine. And at this point next week, I will add up the winners and put them in the first slide of who is the winner of last week. And I might keep a tally of all the winners. I'm not sure how that's going to go yet. Let me know down below. Let me know if you like the way this series is going. And leave suggestions too if you don't like it at all. Like the video and sub for more. All right, this has been the Robcast doing NFL Players of the Week, Week 2. Have a good one. Bye.